It's a trap, you walk right into the hate. All over a new king that's face is just replaced. It's all the same, you still be ruled by force. And no matter who it is, they'll still carry on the torch. Just a lie, cheat, steal, half of what you make. Taxation is steps, it's time to vacate the state. Newsflash, all your cash is an IOU. From killers who really do steal from you. Inflation is a weapon used by every nation who says that they're saving the world through lies. That they disguise and pass off as bravery. Well, I got news, debt is slavery. It don't matter who's madder, a new master don't matter. When they both want the same, the state don't play no games. They got you trying to survive and put you on sides and ready to kill each other. That's conquer and divide. It's all for show, or for hyper control.
That's fucking, they literally pay demons, boy.
And we're back with another episode of Buzz and Tuz. We're here with you on this glorious Tuesday night to give you everything you want to hear and more. But we're here.
Yeah, we're here. We're coming into a full moon.
Hey, don't believe the hype. Coronavirus is back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, sounds good. I just hope they do all this shit for the flu when it comes out again this year, these motherfuckers.
Well, they're already setting up.
I saw that.
Yeah, they're already setting up the chess pieces for the fall because they're
Wu-Flu
like
2.
Yeah, Wu-Flu Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. They're saying, oh, this one is coming out of China once again.
That's racist.
And
China.
Apparently, it has things similar to the swine flu, but also the 1918 flu pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So, like a few years ago, when they found a 1918 flu survivor who had frozen to death but had the virus in his body, they extracted it because it had a few gene variances.
Probably.
And they were trying to fuck with it to make it more virulent. And remember, we were both like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's a terrible idea. Do you think that's what they let out?
That sounds about right.
Okay. I was just curious. I bookmarked that type of shit.
It makes you wonder. Think about it like this. So, we talked before about like the Falun Gong.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
These different groups in China, these religious groups that they like round up. And, obviously they're using them for organ harvesting, but what if they're also doing things like I watched, you fell asleep, V for Vendetta the other night.
Need to rewatch that after not working like 3 doubles in a row.
But basically they were like trying to, I guess, they were using people as guinea pigs and in the act to try to cure diseases, but in the act of trying to cure these diseases, they discovered this virus, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately found the cure for it as well. What if that's how they created these things? What if they were they were just injecting like these people that they have in custody, like the Falun Gong and stuff, and because of course viruses mutate as they move from person to person,
right? And
creating like much more superior viruses.
Viruses don't make sense. They're literally unliving things that can only replicate after hijacking living cells.
Well, they're nanobots.
Okay, thank you.
I kind of believe like they really are like, and it's not in the sense that any modern group created them because we had viruses before modern technology.
Yeah.
This kind of makes me think of, when Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf, yeah. Shout out Teen Wolf.
Yeah. When Teen Wolf was on the show, and he talked about the notion that, and you know what? I got to give it to him. I got to give some credence. There's something to that notion that we are living in a simulation created by a robot.
For sure. That shit's heavy, right? God damn.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you look at viruses, and I've said before, considering every other living creature on this planet at its base has DNA.
Yeah.
Or at least like you look at like sperm has at least an incomplete, but that's merely genetic material.
Right.
Right.
It's not a thing.
No, it can't duplicate itself.
Right.
Right.
They look like tiny little, they look like those searcher things from the Matrix.
Viruses work like xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Like a xenomorph can't be born until it's attached itself to a living host, and then it bursts through its chest. Spoiler alert.
What came first, the bioweapons program or the virus?
Exactly.
Chicken and the egg argument,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but the thing is, viruses have been around longer than governments have been alive to create viruses. So what I'm saying is...
Allegedly. Shout out to Tataria, you know?
Well, I was going to say Tataria or any of your older theories or the Anunnaki or somebody...
Even the theories where they come from asteroids. That shit's wild. Or come out of space.
That they were something left by our...
Progenitors?
Our progenitors, our creators, our true masters,
Slave
whatever you want
lords.
to call them. They were something to kind of keep the... Like, maybe it started as one thing, but it was specifically designed to mutate and transform and take on different forms.
Yeah.
Because they understood that we had a survivability to us. Because if you made something that... What's that?
They're like, we need to stop that survivability.
Well, that's the thing, though. They're like, we need something that can change with them.
Yeah.
Because they will adapt. They have part of us in them. Their bodies will overcome them.
Just real quick, we ought to do our preamble, I suppose.
Yeah. I just wanted to get it started.
I know.
On the right foot,
I was just thinking, I didn't even talk to you about this before we do the preamble. We might have a guest. I'm going to send this episode to him. He doesn't know he might be a guest yet. He's been scouted by Elmo.
Huh.
Found on TikTok.
Okay.
His name is Nick Bartolomeo.
Bartolomeo, yeah.
He is an expert, I would say, in the realms of the internet, in the way of Pizzagate.
Really?
Yeah. Check him out. Check him out, Nick Bartolomeo on TikTok. Let him know that the Bones and Tubs podcast sent you, and we will figure out a way. We will have him on digitally. We will interview him. We will talk. We might even order pizza. Just to flush out all the evil of that frazzle drip nonsense.
Has he just done some deep work on it or something?
Oh man. He's one of the people that's doing what we should be doing on TikTok for sure. Hold on. Turn the sound down. I don't give a fuck about Maybelline. Never did. Never will either.
Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's methamphetamine. Nick Bartolomeo. I'm really not good at reading. He sent me a video earlier that he had commented on. And when he sent it to me, it just came up and said, I can't find this video.
Huh.
So that fast, they took his video down.
Huh.
Anyway. He meant JFK Jr.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pizzagate, Part 3, The Life of the Undead. Like and follow, because tonight we're going to be exposing the biggest illusion in American history, the employers and employees of the deep state. Oprah went.
Huh. But I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We need to figure out, get our digital legs, because I think the one thing that this show lacks is the ability to have digital interviews over the webs.
I tell you what, I'm going to go and assume he's on the Q train, correct?
I don't know. It would seem so, but Pizzagate and Q are two different entities.
But usually
there is an intermarriage.
There is.
I've talked to a few people that are into Pizzagate, though, and they're like, man, fuck QAnon.
I mean, I'm not...
Because they're where I was for a long time, where it's like, this is probably just like that pressure release valve to try and get me off Pizzagate into thinking like, okay, well, they're going to take care of it, so I'm cool.
Let me ask you, because that's the thing about the whole QAnon thing that always got me with Pizzagate and all that shit was, Trump has definitely, he fucking rolled with Epstein a bunch of times.
True.
There's tons of pictures out there.
There's a court case where they were both plaintiffs. Or no, I'm sorry, defendants.
Yeah.
And a rape case that they paid out money on.
That being said,
Google it.
If the Q shit stuff is to be believed, how the hell would they how do they justify his interactions with that dude?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've had so many conversations this week that are...
Or is the whole tiring. Q thing just a matter of misdirection at this point?
Honestly, I don't know. I truly don't know. They say now... I saw a video the other day where they were talking about just 3 more months, everybody will know. And somebody said in the comment section, yeah, they've been saying 3 more months for the last 3 fucking years. Get over it. But then somebody pointed out that that's when Hillary Clinton's next trial date is, when she has to file for a continuance because she lost her last court case. And all that Anthony Weiner shit got added supposedly as evidence, the laptop for the Nixium trial. Like
I said, listen.
We'll see, but I'm not going to fucking put my hat on it.
Anybody that's on the Q train, I will gladly let you shave that tonsure if you're right.
We're going to have a nice camera to have somebody. We might even have what if we had a drawing to have a listener come to shave tonsures in our heads?
We could do the video just like that one person, the video we saw where they got their hair cut.
I don't know. Oh. No. No.
I wonder.
No.
I wonder if that guy's available.
I bet he is. We'll have to hit up Brittany Canini to find out where she
Oh, you're gonna have to take that out.
Why?
Man.
She doesn't work there anymore.
You're gonna have to take that out.
All right, man.
I'm not getting fired.
All right. I might get rid of the last name.
Can you just reverse it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, you guys can come over. We'll do a live
She
stream.
just needed a couple $1,000s, man. It's cool.
I mean, people are doing worse now, so it's whatever.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, think of OnlyFans, man. You know.
I get it. I was just disappointed that it lasted as long as it did and there was no sex.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. Anyways, so yeah, I'll live stream our Tonter shaving.
Yeah.
If you're right. But the thing is like, what if like, you know, it makes me think of, there's an episode of South Park where the chief of police, who's in a few episodes, is trying to bust.
That Bar Brady?
No, it was a different dude.
Okay.
He's trying to bust like a prostitution sting, right? And he keeps dressing up as a woman and then getting Johns. And you know, usually in a normal police bust, like they get the John to say, "All right, I'll give you $20 to suck my dick," and they're like, "You're under arrest." This guy would like actually perform the sex act.
What the fuck?
And then be like, "Hold, damn it!" And then like, cause like one part, he like busts an entire frat party, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hold on, I got all the evidence right here." And he grabs the evidence bag and squats over it and just starts like shitting out cum.
Oh no!
I was like, so with this whole Q thing, I'm thinking like, is Trump gonna be like, "Yeah, we got him. You know, I had to fuck a lot of kids to get to this point, but we got him. You know, I had to be the guy on the inside. You know, I didn't want to fuck kids. You know, but you know, I had to do it to save America."
Maybe that's why he had what's her name, you know, wear a glove when she touched his dick, and the aide slapped the girl's hand and was like, "Nobody touches Mr. Trump's dick without a glove on."
See, when you told me that, it doesn't sound fake.
No. It doesn't.
Not at all.
You know what's crazy though? We're in the age of information where it's deep fakes and fake news, so it could all be fake. Who knows?
Well, and you know what's weird is like, you know, and not to go off the rails completely.
That's what we do, bro.
But the thing is, like, you mentioned the age of information, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that kills me is like, you look at every piece of dystopic fiction over the course of the last 100 years, and usually, like, it's a constant course correction, censoring, blanking things out, and adding new things in, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't happen the way they wanted it to, or didn't happen the way they thought it would. It's not even about censoring it per se. The truth is always out there.
Much
right?
like, the X-Files.
But they literally bombard you with so much information constantly.
It's an overload.
And then, like, you have spin doctors who are just sent out to fucking put their whole opinion on the matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, whether you have rioters, you know, torching fucking cars or pulling people out of the cars or doing whatever, and the spin doctors come on and be like, "Oh, well, they're dissatisfied with how everything's going, and that's the result of systemic racism and institutional racism in the country."
Yeah.
Which, I'm not to say those things don't exist,
Right.
but you're still destroying people's property.
Yeah. What does that dovetail into Ken and Karen?
Oh, most definitely. Like,
That's
that,
one thing
that,
that,
that
like,
meme exploded over
We
the
didn't
last
even
couple
talk.
of days.
We didn't even talk about it until after it was already a thing. But we're both like in agreement. Like, you know, it's crazy that they're making a giant fucking kerfuffle over these two.
That they're mocking them.
They're mocking them.
Okay.
I mean, they look ridiculous. I get it, but
Okay.
that's your right to look ridiculous. I mean,
That's
I
the
get
thing.
it. I'll talk shit about you if you look ridiculous. 'Cause
Listen,
it's funny.
but that's the thing, though. Like,
You're
I don't.
protecting your property, though.
Yeah, like you said, they look ridiculous. But here's the thing, though. Like, okay, one, they didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so they merely were just standing out their side of their house with guns because people had broken down the gates of their gated community and had run in.
They ripped it down and they were in there. They were threatening to fucking.
Well, it was like a gated community.
That's that whole come to the suburbs thing.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you come to the suburbs.
Yeah, and
Don't come to the
all
suburbs.
they're doing now is mocking them. But the thing is if that happened to me, I would do the exact same thing. Although I probably wouldn't look like. First of all, I don't think I'd allow you to see me. Let's establish that right now.
That bush just shot that guy.
You see, like a fucking Roomba just roll up next to somebody and they just explode. Like,
yeah, no shit.
Seriously, you wouldn't see me because I'm not just gonna like that dude. Like, listen. I mean, I know what he was trying to exude, and it wasn't big dick energy.
No, it was not.
But
he did
like
his
something.
best.
It was like something. It was
Do
like
your best.
It was like on a different. If big dick energy has its own wavelength,
Yeah,
it was like a whole funkier wavelength that I couldn't be on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, you don't live there. I get it.
But I mean, his wife though.
She was on some James Bond shit.
James Bond isn't even that much of a fucking idiot.
No. But that's like a James Bond cover with a female. She's holding a gun and she's holding it like, if I shoot it here, it's gonna smack me in the face.
Yeah. But the thing that kills me is like, and it goes back to the spin doctors, is they've all been spinning this as like they look ridiculous and they're overreacting and da 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 da. But I'm telling you, 90%. Well, I can't say 90%. I don't know what percentage of people in this country are gun owners, but let's say 100% of gun owners.
Quite a few.
Not 100%. Let's say 80% of gun owners would probably look exactly like Ken and Karen if somebody was rolling up on their fucking property.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Or that lady that the cops hip tossed during Katrina. Remember that? She was like an 80 or 90-year-old lady had a pistol, and they were like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Sorry. Anyway, fuck the cops. That went off the rails, man. I'm fine because that's what we do. That's what our brand is.
But I had to address that because it was kind of irking me that they've been making so much fun of these two people who obviously
it's all a psyop.
Who obviously perceived a threat.
Yeah. They just want to control the narrative because they don't want people to understand that this is literally happening in whoever's listening to my words right now, it's happening in your backyard.
Now, don't get me wrong. There is plenty of Kens and Karens out there
they don't want you to react.
Way extra. You know what I mean? And let me give everybody out there a piece of advice. If you see a group of black people having a picnic in a park, please refrain from just going over there and start berating them.
Yeah.
That happens way too often, it seems like, are you supposed to be, like, bitch, please? Like, come on now.
Can we just remember the Leave Britney Alone meme, the video? Can we just say...
Leave black people alone?
Leave everybody alone.
Like,
stay in your fucking lane.
If you literally...
shut the fuck up.
If you literally do not see, like, because a lot of times it's always like, it's dumb shit, like, oh, they're in the park. Or, oh, they're at a pool. Oh, shit. What are these motherfuckers doing at a pool? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just leave them the fuck alone. Okay, are they damaging property? Are they killing anybody? Are they beating anybody up? Are they doing anything that could perceivably hurt somebody? Leave them the fuck alone. Don't fucking talk to them. I mean, if you want to talk to them, but don't go over there and be like, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
And then when they're like, why the fuck are you calling the cops? Be like, oh God, they're threatening me. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, then they drop the N-bomb. They drop that heavy N with a hard R at the bottom.
Well, that kind of,
we've seen that before.
Does that not like lay it all out to bear? The root of the problem right there.
Yeah.
Does that not lay it all out? Like, it's obvious. It had nothing to do with people who you perceive to not belong in the park or at the pool. It was everything about the amount of melanin they had in their skin.
Right. Man, your cousin's on some shit.
What did he say?
Shout out. What's his nickname?
Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Shout out Jake
Daddy
the Snake.
from Cincinnati.
Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati. I have a terrible memory. He said, I learned some new shit. This is the problem with using socials while we're doing the recording.
What am I looking at here?
Looks like a body, bro. A giant body in both pictures.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to set up a schedule for this next month of July. The month of freedom, if you will. Yeah. We get Teen Wolf back on for a 3-way. We get Jake the Snake, the Big Dick Daddy from Cincinnati on. And we need to have our old Pizzagate friend, who's not our friend yet, but he will be.
Most definitely.
July might be on fire.
Man, I mean, yeah. I'm... The 4th might be...
Oh, it's going to be turned.
I hope... I kind of want it to be, though.
You know what I mean? Even though they're back and forth talking about Chaz being, like, part of a city block now, or, like, just part of a street corner, like, remember what we talked about where the Hells Angels are rolling in? They've had literally thousands of bikers that have ridden from across the country. They're still coming.
Even though it's over now?
Even though they say it's over. They're there now. I've been following this dude on YouTube.
Listen,
who's tapped into the Hells Angels.
I think this 4th of July, it is within the parameters, every right of every citizen who breathes the same air that George Washington and fucking every fucking, you know what? Fuck authority. It's a fucking illusion. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
You know what? And I say fuck the crown, and I don't mean England when I say that.
You know they still call us a colony.
Fuck those motherfuckers. Hey, listen, first of all, we'll deal with them later.
Let me say something to
Listen,
her.
we got problems here.
I want to say something to the Queen directly.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready? I've written this speech, and I didn't even tell you about it. I wanted you to see it firsthand. Fucking cunt. I hope you choked to death on a prune while you got somebody else wiping your ass. You know there's still a steward of the crown or whatever it is where they wipe their ass?
Really?
Today. Yeah, right now. Somebody's wiping her fucking old ass.
I bet you that motherfucker makes bank for real.
No, but for real, send me a job. Send me a link.
6 figures in benefits
You
to
imagine-
wipe that old wrinkly ass.
Imagine if you didn't see me for like 3 months. But man, I miss my friend. Like, where you been? I text you a picture of the Queen's asshole. Oh man, I didn't know lizards had 2 assholes. That's crazy. Fucking nasty bitch.
But
Anyway, your son's a pedophile. Continue.
yeah. So fuck those motherfuckers across the pond.
Yeah.
They got. When I say fuck the crown, I'm not even talking about them right now.
Okay.
I'm talking about every fucking black booted wearing fucking truncheon bearing piece of shit that walks on this motherfucking soil. Any motherfucker who thinks they're an archon should have it coming. Yeah. They should be hiding in their motherfucking homes on the 4th of July.
If this makes you feel any better, I saw, those TikTok videos with the attractive cops?
Yeah.
Females, of course.
Yeah.
No homo. But I saw one earlier, this like bleach blonde chick, and she's like, so she showed the new trend where they show the comments and then they respond to the comments in the video. Mm-hmm. And somebody wrote, "You only have one personality, and that's that you're a cop. Super tiring, lame." And then she showed all the other pictures of herself, like, "God, this is my going out clothes. This is what I lay around in. I have so many personalities." And I just wrote ACAB. Huh. And then I cited a link to the cop that got shot changing a tire in Chicago. Like, just saying.
Here's where I scrapbook all the pictures of me shooting dogs and black people.
And if you don't do it, you know someone that does kill yourself.
Listen, man. Like, and all y'all out there know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say it because you ain't getting me today.
No, today.
Not today.
Not today, Satan.
Nah. I was born on a day, but that day was not today.
And it was not night. Or no, yeah. Anyway.
So, yeah, and you know what the best part about that is the people that message was for on both sides know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, stay inside, bitch.
Mm-hmm. But I say we get to the topic today.
How long has this gone on?
We have been going straight for 23 minutes.
That's because we had that fire deep down. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to read the preamble after we get our housework out of the way because we're contractually obligated.
Yes.
At this point. Mm-hmm. We can plug ourselves at the end.
Yeah.
Over at Patreon.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay.
First of all, if you like the music at the beginning or end of the show, you should check out Blood of the Brave. Blood of the Brave Bandcamp, Blood of the Brave on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. He's fire. Instagram. He's got a new song out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that when he made this song, he verbally took a can of gasoline.
Yeah. And then like 87 unleaded, or do you think it was like the higher octane?
89.
Okay.
Poured it atop a tinder of the driest pine you can imagine.
Yes.
And then shot a flaming arrow into that motherfucker. And it
be
became the pure fire.
Yeah, it's great.
Is it good?
It's fantastic.
I'm going to have to listen to it now.
I'm not even going to tell you the title because I feel like you'll be like, I want to hear that shit.
Yeah?
Go check out Blood of the Brave on all those things. bloodofthebrave.com, Blood of the Brave Bandcamp, Blood of the Brave on all the socials. Check him out. Let him know Bones of Tubbs sent you. Now, if you noticed, if you're here for the first time, welcome. This is the Bones of Tubbs podcast. I'm Bones. He's Tubbs.
We just went on for a long time talking shit.
We're not professionals, but that's why you like us. We tell the real. We tell the real and the truth at all times.
And if this is your first time, just remember, if you see the title of the episode and you don't like our ramblings, you're usually going to hit the spot about 15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, you could roll your own tampon, shove it in your asshole, and then go about 20 minutes in, and you got the topic.
Yeah.
So,
and you're going to get to it.
And that's fine. I'm not mad at you.
No.
But
I get it, because we get comments all the time like, Jesus Christ, I had to wait 20 minutes to listen to you guys talk about what the name was about.
I'm not even mad at those dudes, man, because I understand where you're at. Like, I'm sorry your life's terrible.
See, and that's the
I'm
thing.
not being a smartass. I mean that.
I've been on, listen though, I'll admit, I have been on the other side before where I'm doing research for a show or doing whatever, and I go to look for a fucking video about what I'm looking for, and in the video's titled whatever I'm looking for, I'm like, oh, sweet. And then I have to sit there through a half hour of shit that's not even related to it.
Yeah.
But let's get to the topic now.
Well, we will, but we haven't finished our contractual obligation.
Right.
I know I'm not going to say the right thing.
Oh, shut up, you cunt. Sorry. Watching a video of Ellen DeGenerate.
Didn't she just lose her show?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Q people said that.
No, I know. But that
Some
video
shit,
she
too.
gave was some telling shit. Anyway, if you made it here as attracted before you heard the music, and you weren't hip to Bones and Tubs, and you weren't interested in the music because you didn't know it existed, and the thing that brought you here was the artwork, I would invite you to check out jny5.com or JNY5 Internet Studios on Instagram, because that dude does all of our artwork, and he is fire. He's fire as fuck. He wrote me a really long message yesterday talking about algorithms in YouTube based on picture quality and how he wants to email me the picture instead of just sending over socials because it downgrades it. Now, I'm fucking retarded, okay?
Yeah.
But all I saw in that message was quality.
Yeah.
And I love that we have partnered up with some people that are just like us.
Just absolute and genuine good people.
They're all the same as we are in the same way that we want to lift everybody up.
Exactly.
Everybody seems to realize that a rising tide raises all shit.
The only cocksuckers I want to push down are those dumb fucks that mostly, organize in Washington, D.C. or...
Which is a state now.
Yeah.
Which is neat. Anyway,
it's not yet.
It will be.
There's some processes.
I get it.
But anyways, we don't push, good people down to raise ourselves up.
No, never. I
We
won't
help. I would go on to say that when somebody you imagine you're climbing up and somebody gets ahead of you, they might pull us up. We might pull them up.
It's teamwork, bro.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. And I'm willing to eat shit for 5 years in order to make a living off this. Mm-hmm. And if I can help somebody reach galaxy levels of fame,
that's awesome. Great.
Or vice versa, and I'll bring you with us.
Yeah,
it's all teamwork.
We lift somebody of fame.
I'm
glad we helped you.
I can say is check out jny5.com. Check out JNY5 Internet Studios. He's got that fire. Everybody needs to go follow him on Instagram and check out his merch, because that shit is flames. Hot flames. All right, so I think all that out of the way, we need to address the monkey in the room that we've neglected for roughly 20 to 30 minutes, as is our normal. The topic, which you already know because you came here with the title.
Yeah.
Project MKOFTEN.
Operation Often, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I went through the other day and was reading some Senate hearings.
Yeah.
That were declassified and still blotted out, of course. Because you can't just declassify something. And they mentioned it was a lengthy thing where they didn't talk about the real reason why I wanted to talk about MKOFTEN. They only talked about the drugs. Mm-hmm. And they talked about the volunteers and all that shit. And it was basically senators grilling people who were involved. And everybody was like, well, I couldn't tell you about that because you didn't put MK before it. And I was confused based on the title of what you were asking. And I wasn't sure. And that was the Navy. Now... MKOFTEN is one of the many branches of the tree that is MKUltra.
Yeah, approximately 149 projects
that we know of.
Right.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that was really greatly illustrated, I felt like, in this whole thing was the fact that they show you, I don't know if you saw this, because you actually found what I was looking for. They use all the other government agencies, like the different branches of the military, the different offices of the government. They use them as siphons. Like, they'll be like, hey, we got to do this, but we don't want this tied to the CIA. So we're going to put this money here in the Navy, or we're going to ask you to use this, and we'll repay you in one way or another.
Fuck, not just government agencies. They did it in college universities, even private industry. Like, they put money in all sorts of places to do these projects.
Right. So it's just a giant paper trail. And they were talking about having, like, let's call them logbooks of the results that happened. And... they talked about keeping 2 sets of notes, one that they would burn and one that they would present. Mm-hmm. So we only have the information they didn't burn.
Yeah.
So we don't even know on their official record what they wanted to do. Anyway, Project MKOFTEN was a covert Department of Defense program developed in conjunction with the CIA. The CIA initiated Project MKOFTEN in 1966, following other programs parallel to MKOFTEN. Before there was MKOFTEN, the CIA created a project called MKUltra, created on April 3rd, 1953. MKUltra was then changed to Project MKSearch, which was initiated in 1964, a partner program to MKSearch. The goal of MKOFTEN was to test the behavioral and toxicological effects on certain drugs on animals and humans. It is commonly thought that Project MKOFTEN went further than just research about mind control, but it branched out into the world of black magic. According to author Gordon Thomas's 2007 book, Secrets and Lies of the CIA's Operation Often was also initiated by the chief of the CIA's Technical Services Branch, Dr. Sidney Gottlieb.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, Gottlieb.
To explore the world of black magic and harness the forces of darkness and challenge the concept that the inner reaches of the mind are beyond reach. As part of the operation, often Dr. Gottlieb and other CIA employees visited with and recruited fortune tellers, palm readers, clairvoyants, astrologists, mediums, psychics, specialists in demonology, witches and warlocks, Satanists and other occult practitioners, and more.
Yeah.
So that's a basic rundown.
Yeah, they would come to these people under the guise they were part of some organization called the SEI, I believe, and try to recruit them for study, right? Now, this is not to say that we know for a fact that the Soviets were kind of dabbling in the same things at the time, but we have a couple instances where they would come and the person would figure out, oh, okay, you're a spook. You're, you're government ops.
Right.
Fuck yourself. Then you have, you even had a Catholic priest who was approached, who came out later and told him, I was approached by the government to help them with demonology and shit like that.
Yeah.
To more or less help them summon demons to do their bidding or do whatever the fuck they want them to do, and he told them to go fuck themselves. It's not to say that there wasn't another Catholic priest out there that was like, can I fuck boys while I do it?
Is there any way you could pay me by fucking children, perhaps while I give you the information you wanted? That would be fantastic. I would teach you all about the things you ask me.
But, they were... the agents would introduce themselves as researchers from the Scientific Engineering Institute, the SEI, like I said, but they were dubbed the Department of the Unorthodox.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I just like to think about this based on, let's think, you and I, podcast aside, you and I have been friends for a very long time, and we talk about everything. Yeah. And we don't just talk about everything, we talk about everything all the time. So let's say that we go back to a conversation where we might have been debating basic monotheistic Christianity, right? Yeah. And all that's entitled with that, let's say that's all true, as a thought exercise. Let's say the pit lords of hell are doing their thing, whatever that afterlife, intergovernmental red tape nonsense involves, where you got your boss, he's the big man, he's shitting on top of you, and you're, whipping the people that rape babies or whatever happened. So all these people they're doing their thing. Yeah. They're doing their job because everybody's got to work. You got to have your money to buy your things you need and whatever it's like in hell. Yeah. And then one day somebody reaches through with Arrowwood. They had an Arrowwood drug that they used. Yeah. It was something 3267, I think. Yeah. I won't remember, but you could look up, Project Often drugs, and it's right there. And that's one of the things that they let out. Now, this drug was basically acid that lasted for up to 10 days. So let's say you shot a tiny little bit in your shoulder or your arm, vein, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. That tiny bit of drugs is going to ride with you for 5 to 10 days. And that motherfucker, let's say they tortured this dude while he was on a trip. Yeah. And that pushed him through to be a vessel to talk to these demons. Mm-hmm. These demons are down there. They're smacking people who didn't believe in Jesus and didn't put 10% in the collection plate, right? Yeah. And, basically other things. They didn't proselytize Christianity, whatever. They're in hell where they deserve to be. Yeah. And one day he goes to drop the whip and he's like, hold on a second. And he looks over in the corner of the room and there's fucking Dr. Gottlieb talking through some fucking unfortunate fucking intern who was like, hey, do you want to try a new vitamin? You know, because they're not telling them the truth.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they got bamboo shoots in their fingernails and they're taking fucking acid that lasts for 10 fucking days.
Yeah.
And he's using that dude as a fucking phone to talk to
whoever the fuck you're talking to.
Beelzebub.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, would you guys like to work for the United States military? And they're like,
Do you have the blood of children?
Yeah.
I mean, is that how that works?
I mean, I don't know, man.
Jesus fucking Christ, this is literally a real thing.
Though they like, here's the thing, like we talk about palm readers and psychics and witches and shit like that. They were also looking for fucking telepaths.
Yeah.
People who can, what's that called? Clairvoyance, or the ones who can astral project.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen that show Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is not what they were trying to do. Like, it's not as fictitious as one would think.
No, that's not.
Because that's literally what they were trying to do. They were trying to find people
No, they did that.
who could like fucking astral project themselves over to fucking Moscow and sit in on like a secret meeting.
Did you ever hear about the test they did with astral projection? It was a separate project, but I want to say it was under the umbrella of MKUltra. They literally bring these people in. They did a show on it. I want to say it was one that Joe Rogan Questions Everything did.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that show?
No, I did not.
It was either Joe Rogan Questions Everything or the one with Jesse the Body Ventura. Those are the two options. So eat your heart out. Find one.
Can I segue real quick?
For sure.
Because we talked about this the other day and I just saw something about it.
Yes.
And it's just a quick little sidebar. There is a huge movement going on to try to push Jesse Ventura to be the Green Party candidate.
He should be the president if we have one voting as
Okay, back to this topic.
But they interviewed people that were involved in this project, and they found potentials. Like, they went through 3 stages or 4 stages of testing to find people who weren't bullshitting, that actually had a success rate, right? Mm-hmm. This is without training. That could astral project. And you want to know what they did? Their last test, before they got hired on for the government?
What did they do?
They had a flight. And I don't know if they orchestrated the flight, or if this was an actual flight. They were like, hey, Intel tells us that Gorbachev over here is going to fly out from Russia. He's got a tape with some shit on it that he's taking to the Kremlin. Mm-hmm. And we want you to astral project onto that plane and destroy it. And they did it. The people who were able to do it, or at least were able to come back with intel based on what they could confirm on the plane that no one else could tell them, were hired. So that's a real skill.
Yeah, MKOFTEN also dabbled in classes involving fertility rites, raising the dead. So apparently the CIA is chock full of necromancers.
Yeah, no, I mean everything you could imagine in the dark occult.
And brain implant technology.
That's fine.
And this goes back to my whole premise about MKUltra, where they slid across the table when it came out in 74, I think it was.
Yes.
And they had to go before the Senate and all these subcommittees and shit. And they're like, oh, yeah, we did these things, but you know what? They were all failures. None of it worked.
Yeah, no.
And then they just stared at them blankly.
None of it worked.
No, it worked. And then there's like a goddamn fucking voodoo witch doctor in the back of the fucking meeting hall, and he's just like fucking eyeball fucking those Senate members, and they're like,
hey,
we believe you.
Share with the Bones and Tubbs, the Order of Bones and Tubbs, the nation, if you will. Uh-huh. Tell them what you wanted your superpower to be that we joked about.
Yeah.
That shit was fun.
Because this kind of rolls. We were talking about MKOFTEN and all those things, and I was like, you know what? Really, I want my superpower to be, because I think it would just like completely like. You could literally fuck anybody up doing this, and that's the ability to make someone come.
Yeah, with
on
your
command, like with your mind. Because think about it, you start fighting somebody, right? And they could be kicking the shit out of you. If you could suddenly like, and they're like fucking jizzing their pants, it's over with.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it would be for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I finally fucking shot a load.
If a stranger choked you and made you come, you're gonna have a really rough weekend.
Like imagine like you're on the road, like you're in a fender bender with somebody, right?
Yeah.
And they start coming up and you're yelling. They're yelling at you, and then all of a sudden You just make
choke him.
You just make them
Choke him against the car that you crashed into.
Yeah, and then you make them jizz their pants, and now they're fucked up for the rest of their life
And
because
it's
they
no
think,
homo all around.
yeah, because they think they've questioned their whole way of living because they're like, a dude choked me out, and I came when he did it.
Yeah.
So not only am I gay,
And a goddamn thing you can do about it.
which I didn't even see that. Like that dude's like, I didn't even see this coming. I didn't know I liked this.
I thought I was going to fight this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, he's holding me against the car, and I almost had him, and then for some reason I came everywhere, and now I'm tired.
But I feel like that would be a super on point superpower to have.
Yeah. Everybody wants to talk about, like, telekinesis and all this. Like, you know, I've always, like, leaned towards Magneto type shit.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that I could kill someone with a penny. But you really crossed the Rubicon with that one.
You know what it is? It's the long con. You know what I mean? I don't want to hurt you now.
Nah, but I want to hurt you over a long period of time.
Yeah.
And in 40 years, I want you to blow your brains out.
Yeah, I want you to lose sleep over how I hurt you.
Yeah.
You know, if I break your arm now, if I shoot you, if I shoot you in the leg, you are gonna come back from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
You'll bounce
know,
back.
He'll know when it's going to rain, though.
Yeah, but I want
He'll
this
think
dude.
about you every time it rains.
Exactly. I want this dude to sit and stare at his ceiling for the rest of his
He's
life,
just not sure anymore.
next to his wife, and be like, what the fuck?
What happened?
You know?
I am confused by these things.
I don't know if the power will work as well on women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
like
know.
To think it would because of
can't-
equality.
Well, okay,
Equality is important.
But here's the thing, though. I don't know how. I mean, I guess actually I do know I don't know what a female orgasm feels like, but I do know, like, in the sense that I don't, like, in my body, don't know what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
But I do know that sometimes it will stop them from being angry,
Yeah.
right?
Well, what was the medical designation called where they used to have fake doctors that rolled around the United States and finger blasted women?
Well, women would have hysteria.
Okay.
Where they believe that the womb or the uterus was not in a fixed position in the female's body. It would just move around, right?
Yeah, okay.
And when it wasn't where it was supposed to be,
They need to
like it
finger
was
it back
moving
into place.
places,
Yeah.
they'd call it hysteria. And
Jesus
now
Christ.
the thing is, though, is that this is a time when sexual education was like nil.
This was when
Right.
equality was really a problem.
Yeah, because
Unlike now.
for real.
Unlike
because,
2020.
Listen, because no one was telling dudes about the clit.
Yeah.
Not
What's that bumpy thing?
Yeah,
that I sometimes
well, first of all, men back then would probably just straight up bypass it because they're like, "Can I stick my
I'm just
dick in
trying
it?"
to fuck that hole.
And they're
that
like,
is
"No,
wet."
I can't stick my hole in that bump. Fuck that bump."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, they didn't know about the bump. Nobody ever told them, right?
Nah, you gotta
so
find
I
the
feel
bump,
like
though.
you imagine like you're a husband and wife back in like 1890. You've been married for like 30 years, right?
Yeah.
And this bitch has never had an orgasm.
And then
in her
she
life.
someone someone who knew about the bump.
Yeah, was it say now that, or you just found it on accident one night and she was like, "Whoa, wait a minute." But anyways,
Sounded like somebody's wringing out one of those car wash sponges.
and then he freaks out because he thinks she's having a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
But no, so they would have hysteria. So doctors would, they would give you, I think it was called a hysterical paroxysm,
Yeah. That's
which
what
was
it called.
the scientific word for an orgasm.
You know those fags used to opt out of using the fingers to hit them with a hose?
Well, that's
They'd strap them to a chair and hit them with a hose.
That's
'cause
how-
they were like, I don't want to touch them.
that's how the first vibrator was created because they got tired of having to do it manually.
If you don't know about dodo history, then check out the Bones and Nuts
Like, imagine
podcast.
those 1800s fucking gynecologists sitting there with little dumbbells on their fingers, like, "Ugh,
I'm just trying to get my weight up, little bruh.
I treated 50 women with hysteria today.
I'm so tired.
Motherfucker's fingers look like he has rheumatoid arthritis by the time he's
Motherfucker.
40. Like,
Motherfucker needs a steak is what he needs. He needs a steak and a Gatorade.
he's like, his fingers have like little six packs on them. Like,
How many doctors think walked out of there with wet spots on their pants?
oh my God. Oh, right? Well, see, the thing is, I almost feel like, now, here's the thing. I almost feel like they weren't in on, like, there might have been a few who got their kicks from it.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of them were like, Jesus Christ. And they're like, all right. And they're
This
like,
bitch.
they're like,
Yeah.
And they just like, they start doing it and they just have a serious, they're just like staring at like a poster on the wall the whole time while they're doing it.
This is nothing more than a medical procedure.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. I am a scientist.
Probably about the same. I mean, that's not to say there aren't doctors that probably get a kink out of giving a prostate exam.
I mean, I get it.
I'm sure they exist.
You ever hear that one where the dude's like, all right, well, I've never done a prostate exam before. Where do I leave my pants? And he's like, by mine. But yeah, we're talking about MKOFTEN.
Yeah.
So I just wonder what it's like. You know, you think about it, maybe not even the direct demon that's whipping the pedophiles or the people who didn't worship Jesus enough. And, like, he's getting it in. That's his job. He's whipping them with a fire whip. And I imagine there's fucking dogs around, you know, but they're demon dogs. It's a regular day in the office. It's hot as fuck. There's no chairs. And then, like, his boss comes in and he's like, hey, I just got an email from Dr. Gottlieb. He's trying to buy our service. And the dude's like, all right, cool.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like,
how do you make contact? Like, what are you feeding them?
this is the part that, like, I feel like there must have been, okay, because here's the thing. We know, here's, like, with this whole CIA thing, there must have been a time when the deep state, there was these different groups, but they weren't in contact with each other.
Yeah.
Because the shit we're talking about is the shit that groups way before the CIA they were fucking with. You know, you look at Aleister Crowley, Golden Dawn, OTO, all those organizations were doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Way before the CIA was in on it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to assume there had to be some crossover there, some overlap when they finally got a hold of them, right?
Yeah.
So it makes one think that the government wasn't always as evil and insidious as it is now.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry.
You think it always was?
Always. Yeah, I mean, government, we talked about before, it's men who don't produce anything.
But I mean, okay.
They want to control everybody else.
When I'm saying it, I don't mean in the black magic sense. They were just greedy fucks.
I don't know. There's a documentary called Eye of the Phoenix that I wish we could watch together one time, where they talk about at least the founding of the country. Like, did I ever tell you where the seal came from, according to this documentary? And according to this documentary pulls it out of supposedly congressional record journals from the founders.
Okay, so then why would the CIA be researching all this stuff if hypothetically it was already there for them to find, and it was already there?
I just think that it's the next step.
Or do you think, like, when they found the research, they put it on the president's desk, like, this is what we found, like, we found all the shit about...
I don't even think they told the president about it.
Well, they're like,
I think this is literally an agency that was given free reign, and that was like, how do we maintain power? Because, hold on, we're going to have some dead space here. I want to read this. It's JFK's quote. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I believe so.
So now, before JFK was shot by, people in the government, he had a quote in one of his speeches where he said, I will splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds. Because he knew the CIA was an extra governmental agency. They're only interested in their own power. That's why all these intelligence agencies, they don't work together unless they have to. But they're never going to share everything. My thing is...
So, like, you're saying, like, so, I say hypothetically, because I'm just trying to...
It's kind of like how the Satanists infiltrated the FBI. You remember Ted Gunderson? We talked about him.
Okay, so basically when it got to these other groups, they're like, oh, fuck, we've been doing this forever, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right, but it's like a refining of the craft.
Okay.
And I feel like it's them solidifying that. They're like their own government inside the government. They don't relate. The problem with that, the thing I told you about that I read that was released from a Senate hearing for MKOFTEN, MKUltra, and MK Search, it's the government trying to find out what the fuck the CIA is up to through the Department of Defense. And everybody's blaming everybody else. They're all individual governments. You know what I mean? Under the blanket, they're getting money from taxes to just be their own fucking government.
It was like a project to try to find the best ways to do things. The best way to do these things.
I assume it was a power play by the CIA to maintain their power.
I don't know if you read this yet, but Dr. Gottlieb's mission statement on MKOFTEN, harness the force of darkness and challenge the concept that the inner reaches of the mind are beyond reach. The project will aim to create a new kind of psycho-civilized human being. Yeah.
You got to think, too, all this shit, and the thing that I wrote the other day in our draft that I told you about. Let's see here. I just think that there's some sort of a cabal, and that might be interdepartmental. It might be a single department, but I doubt it. But there's a dark cabal that's involved in every layer of government.
Mm-hmm.
And the government operates entirely on its own. It's just a bunch of selfish motherfuckers trying to get theirs. But these people have come together on some dark occult shit. We were talking the other day about what kind of energy or influence they could gain by having us use their satanic symbols and secret symbols in our phones. Like the theistic Satan symbol of Google Play Store.
I said it's about innate intention.
Right. But they're getting power from us. Like they use a satanic symbol, the theistic satanic symbol for the Google Play Store, the Masonic tablet of Gmail, the 666 of Google Chrome. These are all things that like corporations are using.
Let me steal an analogy here just to see if I can wrap my mind around this real quick. Think of it in the sense that Star Wars. Right?
Yeah.
You had the Empire.
Right.
And most of the people in the Empire, they're about control and money and all those things, right? Literally, they know. They're actually controlled by the Sith.
Right.
Who are really the ones in control, and they use dark powers unknown to the rest of them to do what they need to do. Is that a good comparison?
I would say so.
That makes sense in my brain, Because, your average stormtrooper don't know shit about the Sith.
No, he's just an order follower.
Yeah.
Shout out Mark Passio on YouTube. But you take that into consideration historically back to, let's see, what kind of correlation can be drawn by noticing the fact that after this project was launched, everything from movies to music and societal fashion moved toward the satanic. So it's almost like they found their way of payment. That's why I kept mentioning that. Like, how are you going to pay Johnny Doe-Dick Demon, who's whipping pedophiles and people who didn't worship Jesus enough? Like, clearly it's energy, right? If we've learned anything through our look through magic or any of this shit, it's all about energy and intention. Mm-hmm. So clicking the Google Play Store, which is a theistic satanic symbol, you don't know shit about it. Your brain registers the symbol, your subconscious picks up on it, and you get the energy from tapping the motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, maybe this whole thing boils down to there. Again, we've talked about this before in a number of episodes. They use us like psychic batteries.
Yeah,
there's more of us than there are of them, but they get us in this hate each other, black versus white, fucking gay versus straight, Republican versus Democrat mindset. So we're never together, and they use us all, and they hit us with this fear, and that's why we're batteries.
It's very simplistic mindset too, because it's simply almost binary.
They worship Saturn. I'm just saying.
It's just binary.
Yeah.
It's like it's like you said, a battery. It's like positive. Like, you're not saying one or the other is positive or negative. Don't think of it in the sense that
yeah.
one's bad and one's good.
Not emotionally, but a charge.
But a charge.
Yeah.
So you got one side and the other.
And collectively, we're all just a giant battery bank that they suck off of for their own purpose.
Yeah. That's why they like to keep it back. And that makes sense with the whole binary thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have two opposite things coming together to create the energy that they need.
Right. They just use us for whatever purpose they choose. And who doesn't, in the epsilon of power, who doesn't let just raping children? Shout out Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin in the Frazzle Drip video.
Sheesh.
Still waiting on that. I've been checking Gmail every day since we dropped that last episode, but we ain't got shit yet.
I think people are scared.
Waiting on y'all.
We're
not cops.
We've talked about the CIA in a bunch of episodes. And we always go, oh, we've talked about this before. But I actually went through and looked today.
Yeah.
So if any of you haven't gone back and gone through our back catalog before, you can. Okay, the most recent one we talked explicitly about the CIA was our episode 85 about Timothy Leary. Episodes 71, 72 were part 1 and part 2 of one of our finest
pieces of work.
Two-part episodes we have ever done.
I'm to the
extremely proud of that work.
Bjorns and Tubes. You just hit that part of our work.
And then episode 63 about our dude, author, mathematician.
All hail the motherfucking king.
Trying to think of another good word for him.
Hero.
Free thinker.
Okay. Yeah.
Theodore Kaczynski.
Check out the Industrial Society and its future. Yeah. And know that the one you'll find on Google or DuckDuckGo is edited. And you can actually write him a letter.
He will send you
an
unabridged copy.
Yes. Check him out. Don't be afraid to write an inmate. You know.
Yeah, he has.
You know, you're doing it for love purposes or
mean,
whatever. This dude's actually not an inmate. He's a prisoner of the state.
Well, I've said before, I agree with the things he says. I don't agree with his methods.
This is where we show our graph, though. I'm a little bit farther right, I think, just on the militant side. And that's okay, because we're not the same person, but we are very close.
But the thing is, like, it wasn't like he was taking out, they were ideological targets. They weren't archons. They weren't people who were actually in charge of anything. They were just people. They were
state.
They were people who represented what he was talking about.
Yeah.
They weren't even in charge of anything.
Right.
Right. They were just there in the wrong place at the wrong fucking time. And that's where I have the problem is, and I think MKUltra, because he was a test subject in MKUltra, I think that's where his head got fucked up in the first place. And the sad part is that he thought that the only way that anybody was going to listen to him is if he did what he did, because his message is on fucking point.
Yeah, for sure. He actually predicted everything that's going on today and some things that haven't even happened, but we're on the precipice of right now.
Yeah.
Even in the unedited episode, or the unedited version of his work. I wanted to write him, but I obviously haven't yet for obvious reasons.
Yes. But I think about wraps it up for us.
I feel like that's fire. You guys, out there listening, you feel like that was fire? Did you guys enjoy it? Would you say that you enjoyed it so much you'd like to have us do this full time? If you would, check out Bones and Tubs on patreon.com/Bones and Tubs. It's Patreon.
Yeah. We're also on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
Yeah, all those things. If you felt like giving us money, it's cool. Help us build the empire. We did just get a 4K camera from contributions.
Yes.
That'll be here between the 3rd and the 9th of July.
So
eat your heart out.
Yes, thank you all. Once again, most of the money that you guys give to us goes to making the show as high a quality as we can produce.
I would say all of it.
Yeah.
We're not like the UNICEF,
So, and that's the thing. You want to help us out, and we're getting together stuff for our bonus episodes. I think we're going to lean towards the, I'm a bit of, and he is too, maybe just me a little more so. I'm a bit of a cinephile.
Yeah.
And I think our bonus episodes are going to be, I think we're going to do a few episodes on like different movie genres and our
talked about the top 7. I feel like we need to use the occult numbers.
Okay, that works for me. Top 7 movies of different genres.
Yeah, demonic horror.
That's going to be the first one.
Yeah.
I've already been working on that one.
Yeah.
And then so on and so forth.
Comedies, dramas, whatever the fuck. Just to give you guys a full piece of our personality, if that's what you're into.
If you don't want to just like go to Patreon or anything, you could always, but you want Bones and Tubs merchandise.
TeePublic, it's a link on our Instagram page, and we just got an extra 21% boost on the proceeds.
You could get t-shirt, coffee mug, you get a fucking face mask. You can, abide by the man.
Nothing's
but saying
better.
Fuck the man at the same time.
Nothing's better than telling your boss, who requires you to wear a punk ass mask that's not good for your health, to suck your dick more than wearing a Bones and Tubs mask.
Yeah.
Go to our Instagram, instagram.com/Bones and Tubs. Check out the link in our description and go down to Mass and look at it. They're cheap. They're fucking sweet looking. I'm surprised every time I look at it. Like, God damn, y'all printed that motherfucker. Y'all see all in the X Games mode.
Yeah.
We even got onesies if you want to dress our babies.
You could make contact with us on Instagram.
Instagram.com/Bones and Tubs.
Put us in DMs, or you could write us an email.
Yeah, I will literally talk to everyone.
Yes.
I have made lifelong friends.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Teflon. Shout out fucking Theodore Condor.
Yeah.
I always fuck up the first part of that. Shout out Jake the Snake. But he's family. But you get it. Like 909, bro.
Yeah.
909 Vanen. He's out there living that life.
Mm-hmm.
So many. I can't even list them.
Yeah.
But to finish the preamble, JNY5 on Instagram. Check him out. He does our art. JNY5 Internet Studios, JNY5.com. He's a fucking savage. And I will fucking... I just want to buy all of his things. But I don't have the money. And then check out Blood of the Brave, Blood of the Brave Bandcamp, bloodofthebrave.com, Blood of the Brave on all the socials. He does our music. He's a savage as well.
Yeah.
It's times like these where we're moving into the Ice Age Farmer on YouTube where he talked about the food shortages. We are fucking walking into that shit right now. We opened the door, we took 2 steps in, and we're in there now.
Yeah.
So get ready, and just everybody needs to come together and support each other.
Believe it or not, I'm a writer.
Yeah, you're I think they call it, what's that, author? Author, okay.
Yes, I have one book.
Yes.
Currently in the process of several other projects I need to get on. We're also doing an audio version of my first book, but you can find a printed copy. You could buy a hard copy of it, or you can buy just the ebook on Amazon. The book is called The King's Fire,
Prophecy and
Flame by S. James Imhoff.
Yeah, not you, but it's someone, it's a pseudonym.
Yeah. You can find it. If you like fantasy, it's right up your alley then. But I think that's about it for the show. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope between now and then you guys have a safe and happy week and a good 4th of July.
Yes.
And,
stay strapped like a car seat.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy yourselves.
We love you.
We really do.
Illusion is a weapon and it ruled through deception. They say that you're the problem if you ever question. Madmen who rule a mad scientist too. If you don't listen to do what they tell you to do, see to them you're owned. If you don't bow down to the throne, you're a threat and they don't like your tone. When you speak your mind or you point out the lies, they'll just say you don't care about other people's lives. You wanna know how they do what they do? They just use your own compassion against you. As long as you feel bad, you won't mind the power grab, cause most already forgot about Abu Ghraib. That's a prison in Iraq where they committed war crimes. It's nothing new, they do it all the time. When they tell you to submit, tell them you don't forget, let alone forgive for all the shit that they did. Like Tuskegee, Alabama, what they did was syphilis. Fuck them all, they're all just eugenicists. Scum of the earth, Bill Gates is a bitch. He's just a modern day Nazi. Eugenicist, 6, that's a number of times he admitted to being with that demon Epstein, no lie. I wish you'd ask why, I wish you wanna seek, I wish you could see through all that they teach. All we know is all we're fed, you gotta look out for yourself. Why trust government that kills when it comes to your health? They threaten you with violence and they steal from you, so I don't trust them with my wellness. I don't know about you, I don't need to see another cop try to justify his orders, we need it to stop. I don't need to see us going out on our knees, living in fear, afraid to be free. Hide from the facts in your mask, hide from the stats in your mask, hide from yourself in your mask, hide from your health in your mask, hide from the facts in your mask, hide from the stats in your mask, hide from yourself in your mask.